Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest Series 24, and that is of course being Series 24, Blood of the Beast. So like always guys, in-depth story analysis and then my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. So, we're starting off with none other than Electro the Stormbird. And yes, we are ripping off Marvel already, aren't we, with Electro. But yeah, this is it, the start of a new series. So without further ado, my in-depth story analysis and overall thoughts on this epic adventure. And like always, it's going to be in-depth story, so make sure you haven't read this book, that you've read it before watching this review, all that good stuff. That being said, let's get on with it. Before I begin, I want to say a few things about last book, which is Exarchon. I forgot to mention about Exarchon himself, but he was not only a powerful beast, but an intelligent great main villain, giving Tom a challenge every turn. And the fact he's the one responsible for destroying Tom's powers really makes him stand out from the rest. But with that being said, let's begin Series 24, Blood of the Beast. I was actually looking forward to seeing Tom go on adventures without his powers, but no, the book starts off after a special book, and because of Tom's victory over that beast, some powerful wizards will recreate Tom's powers. But it was just a copy. But it was not just a copy, but an improvement of those powers, with the armor feeling lighter than the previous incarnation. However, something went wrong, which caused Tom to collapse, but before Tom fully passed out, he spotted Rhea in the crowd, assuming she had done something to him. Okay, right now I'm not sure if Tom is aware Rhea has been back for a while, or this is the first time, or the first glimpse that she survived their previous main series encounter, but still I'm intrigued. Tom quickly told Eleanor of Rhea, and Eleanor instructed Hartman to stop Rhea. However, despite their efforts, Rhea got away, and Tom was now taken to the infirmary quickly. After some arguing who was to blame, Tom's armor and eyes had turned black. Tom then jumped out of bed and jumped out of the window, and a black Pegasus came and a black Pegasus came to pick him up as he jumped out the window as he flew off in the distance. Tom flew over Avantia, seeing his people as he flew over. But his dark powers made him believe he was treated as Avantia's slave, always depending on him to save their lives. Tom went to Rhea, now calling her mistress and becoming her henchman. She revealed that there was a beast called Crocol, who was defeated and turned into 3 separate beasts by Tanner, the original master of the beasts. She wanted Tom to go and defeat these beasts, claiming their tokens. When Tom asked why, she simply said, "None of your concern," and opened a portal to the new world. Eleanor and Delta tried to stop Rhea and Tom, but it was too late. Rhea threw her henchmen into the portal. I must say, I'm really enjoying the setup so far, with Tom being evil and that, because no real series has done that to this extent, because when we last got an evil Tom with Cobra, I believe, that was more in line to the last book. This seems to be having an evil Tom straight from the get-go, which I really am intrigued by. Okay, Eleanor and Daltic were back at the palace, instructing in what had happened. In order to follow Rhea, Eleanor would need a way of travelling to another kingdom via a portal. Luckily, the Circle of Wizards has such a tool for such urgent matters. And since Avantia was desperate to get the Master of the Beast back, they allowed Eleanor to borrow their portal keys. Daltic accompanied her with an antidote to Tom's. Accompanied her with an antidote and Tom's compass with a piece of the golden helmet, as that was the only piece of the armor they managed to remove from Tom. Daltic took a sample of the helmet, attaching it to Tom's compass, so it could help them find Tom. Pretty clever. The portal was open, and Eleanor was informed of what awaited her: 3 deadly beasts. Tom and Rhea arrived in Pylorus, which is the kingdom we're at now. The kingdom that contains the 3 deadly beasts. Rhea told how Crocol was created by the Pylorus's ruler until Krolkol turned on its creator, destroying everyone in his path, until Tanner came to stop him. However, before anything else, they crashed into the desert and were captured by some villagers. They explained they needed some sacrifices for the beast Electro. Eleanor and Daltek were also in Pylorus now, and had felt a disturbance. After looking at the compass, they found where Tom was, they found where Tom was, and that there was a storm being caused by a mighty storm bird, Electro, and as thanks for payment, Electro held out her end of the bargain by giving the villagers water. Once Eleanor and Daltek arrived at the pyramid, the place where Tom and Rhea were tributed, Eleanor had quickly made her shot count and was ready to free Tom, but if she missed, well, he was done for. I should also mention Electro has a metal skeleton, and Electro has a metal skeleton, and as the title implies, she can control the weather. So she's basically thanking the people by showering them with rain waters, because basically where the people are at is in the desert, and they really need water. So in order to get water, Electro needs sacrifices, basically. Anyway, though, we cut back to Rhea and Tom, who was still dangling to be bird bait. Rhea was starting to lose her faith in Tom, but before they could be eaten by Electro, Electro actually went after the shaman, not Tom and Rhea. My theory is that Electro saw them as using others to bail their way out of the agreement. Was cheap. Basically, I think Electro only accepts sacrifices from the desert people themselves and not strangers. The desert people intend to use them are basically using other people as a way to cheap their way out of their deal, which is not how it should go down. So when Electro released the rain, you could see it as one of two ways. Like, I'm releasing the rain, but it's just to fool you, or like I'm releasing rain to show my anger and your disloyalty and all that stuff. Anyway, Rhea and Tom break free, and of course the shaman gets eaten. And before they could attack the villagers, Eleanor busted in to stop Tom. She then told Tom they could only stop Electro together. This made Tom get his ego fuming. He wanted to prove that he could take down any beast single-handed. So by undoing his jewel belt and timing it right, he jumped on the back of Electro, which caused the beast to take Tom into the heart of the storm. Also, I like how the cover art of the book tricks us into believing it's good Tom, while the actual version, the actual drawing of the book, he's wearing his golden armor, which is dark armor now, and he has the black eyes. It's a good way of hiding spoilers for new viewers. Tom was holding on as best as he could. Rhea was planning to do a runner, but soon they could see Electro was making her move. Eleanor shot one of her potion-infected arrows at Electro, which made her angry and go after Eleanor, only to find it was too late. The arrow had done its damage, fading Electro's entire body to nothing, leaving nothing more than a feather. Tom landed, losing his jewel belt, but he quickly snagged up the feather, and Rhea returned. She ordered Tom to give her the feather. Despite our hero's regret saying don't do it, Tom gave Rhea the feather, and in one more desperate attempt to save Tom, Eleanor tried using another potion-infected arrow, but her shot missed, and our villains made a retreat. Eleanor vowed, while there's blood in her veins, she would save her friend Tom. But yeah, there it is, guys. My attempt at, there's my little read-through of Electro the Stormbird. Overall, it's a good analysis. A few scuffles here and there, but nothing too major. So, like always, let's go over the characters of this epic series. And I want to say right now, the first book of Series 24 is very good. It's a very interesting story. They've never done this before with Tom being evil right from the get-go for a series, and I hope that remains consistent. I don't want to see Tom snap, he's back to normal on the next book, or something like that. Why? Because it's a good idea. It's a new way of Tom facing the darkness and trying to overcome it. And the other thing, it allows Eleanor to get some spotlight and be the main hero for once, which is pretty damn cool. Anyway, though, that being said, let's go over the characters. Starting off with, we're going to go with Eleanor first. Eleanor is the main character now in this series. Until we see Tom come back, she's in the driver's seat. She's the main character. So, again, this is awesome. Eleanor is finally the main character. But yeah, Eleanor is determined to rescue Tom regardless. They've been so much together. She's really felt a special bond of friendship between the two. And she tries her best to get him back. She's willing to use her arrows on Tom to save his life. She's willing to follow him to the ends of the earth and all that stuff. Very hot, powered, and determined. It's clearly that Tom has an effect on her life. She's willing to go after him, and she even quotes Tom's iconic line, "All this blood in my veins" at the end, seeing how far she's grown as a character. It's awesome. But yeah, moving on to Daltek, who becomes the secondary character now. He's basically the magician character who's creating all these potions and stuff to help, like, explain the situation, what's going, trying to understand. He's not as skilled as Adaro, but he's still trying to understand what's going on, and he's willing to give all these potions and stuff to Elena to help cure Tom. So it's really cool that he's becoming, like, the second companion once again. It also gives Daltek some more fun to do, because Daltek is normally in the background, but now he's on a quest himself, so he can get some more action in there. Moving on to we'll go over the villains now, and yes, Tom Krantz is a villain, believe it or not. Starting off with the main villain, Rhea. She's returned. Again, I'm not sure if they're aware that if, like, in a special, Rhea was established to be back to life, and that seems to be, I think that's the case, because our heroes don't seem to be, oh my god, Rhea is back, like she's alive from the dead and stuff. So I'm guessing Rhea appeared in a special, like there was a main series, and then she came back in a special or something. I don't know. So anyway, Rhea is great in the villain. She does one of the smartest things that no other villain has done. Okay, Koba did it, but he did it a bit late, I would say, and that is turn Tom evil, corrupting the armor with her Kens's magic spells that she's been taught, and manipulate him to be her henchman. Awesome stuff. I really enjoy that. And she first has her doubts on Tom, but yeah, it kind of makes sense, because he's the one who foiled her plans, and having the Master of the Beasts is the one guy, you know, if I capture Tom, he's the one guy who can stop the beasts, so if I get Tom, then no one can stop my beasts from destroying the kingdoms and stuff. So very good plan there, really enjoying it. Rhea is rising up her ranking as one of the better villains in Beast Quest, and I'll probably rank the villains when I'm done with the main series of Beast Quest, I think. So yeah, who knows? I don't think I'll wait as long as the specials, because I don't want to keep guys like as much of your time up. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, moving along to Tom himself, who is now the henchman of Rhea. And he is a very good henchman. He's kind of like, if you've seen the Lynxie series, my show, the Lynxie series, he's basically like the Viper. Good character turns evil, and is hesitant whether what he's doing is right or wrong. But in the end, he gets corrupted by the magic spell and still follows through. And it's happened in other things where we have like Tommy Oliver from Power Rangers and other stuff like that. So it's nice to have this callback finally. And it took this long for this plot to happen, where the hero turns to the dark side like Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, basically Tom is great as the henchman. He's still not sure like what to do. But the reason why his motivation is he sees that the dark power basically infuses, in my mind, it basically shows the negative traits of what Avanti is doing to him in a way. And Tom's good-hearted soul managed to put those selfish thoughts aside. But now that he's corrupted a bit, those selfish thoughts are basically showing themselves more often. Like, yeah, the people are dependent on me to solve their problems, and he doesn't like that. So he allows this, in a way, you know, that's why he doesn't like the people, because the people are dependent on him, and he doesn't allow him to do what he wants in his own life. So he goes to Rhea, and the reason why he's serving Rhea is for two reasons. One, because she promises him the adventure of a lifetime, which is what Tom loves, going on adventures. And two, because she in a twisted way, she saved him, allowing him to see what another side of the people, like, oh, they're dependent on you and stuff. But she wants to, and even though Tom's a bit hesitant, even though Dark Tom is a bit hesitant to trust her because she is, quote unquote, a villain, he still would rather take that chance than be Avanti's lapdog, and that's in his words. Even though he didn't say it, I'm just trying to think in his mind. But yeah, moving along, then he basically he gets captured a bit easily, because Rhea doesn't understand why Tom isn't winning in the fight, and we know why, because in order for Tom to claim victory in his fights, he needs help. And she may have like a powerful warrior with all the enchantments and the armor and stuff, but Tom still needs the help of his allies to finish the job. So there's that. And so thanks to that, we get to see Tom struggle. And I do like at the end where like we have to work together, but Tom would rather. But Tom, I like how Tom turns this on her head and sees it as once again Avantia questioning his abilities or using him in a way, and he basically pulls a gung-ho moment and decides that he wants to prove that he can take this beast down, which again Rhea was doubting Tom could do, because like I should have known you wouldn't be able to do this. I don't have doubts. And to us, the audience who are watching this, we know that Tom normally beats the beast with help. But to be fair, yes, while Tom, quote-unquote, does start, he doesn't really defeat the beast. He starts the revolution on the beast, and it's Eleanor who's the one who finishes it off. So that's another brownie point for Eleanor, who helps finish it off. And I'm not sure if that was Tom's intention, like, he knew that's what Eleanor would do, so he could claim the token for his mistress. I don't know. Okay, I did forget to mention the Beast. Electro is basically nothing more. It's like Electro gets shafted this book, which is understandable because the plot is just set up. It's more focused on the characters. The Beast essentially is nothing more than a brute that demands sacrifice and can control the powerful weather. Much of a tyrant as like most previous Beasts. Not really much development there. So there isn't much to say than the Beast, and it's just another powerful foe to basically develop the plot, to basically prove to Tom that I can still do this. So basically Electro is nothing more than a plot contrivance for the first book, essentially. But I'm sure when we get to the other three beasts down the road, there'll be more development. So there isn't really much to the first beast, which is, I'd say, the book's one weakness is its beast, but it kind of has to be in order for it to be perfect. So there isn't much to say about Electro, but I would say it's a pretty cool beast nonetheless. So that being said, though, that's my little thoughts on Electro, the beast itself. But either way you like it, it's a great starter book, all around happy days. I'm really looking forward to continuing on this adventure because we've got a new concept going on. And this series, if it goes the way I want it to, it may be really high on my Beast Quest series list. So when I get to re-ranking the series with Series 25, and I know Series 26 is on there, but until it's officially released, I'm saying Series 25 is the last current series. Even though that's not been released either, it's the series that has revealed the covers. So I'm counting that as the last current series. So Series 25 is the last one. But yeah, again, I'm really looking forward to this. If the series goes the way I want it to, it may go really high on my book. And with all these covers showing good Tom, that could easily fool us being, oh, it's actually evil Tom. A great status quo right there. Really looking forward to it. I can't say any more. Anyway, join us next time where I'll be continuing on this series of Beast Quest with our next awesome beast being. And boy, I'm looking forward to this one. Pronouncing the name right? Is it Flugger or Flugger? I'm going to say Flugger because that sounds more intimidating. So it is Slugger, the Slightless Sliverer. And that's going to be hard to say because he has so many ers at the end. But yeah, next time we're doing Slugger, the Slightless Sliverer. And he's basically a giant squid. Great. Wait, not a giant squid, I take it back. He's not a giant squid, he's a giant shrimp. Yes, we literally finally have a giant shrimp for a beast. Till next time, guys. Peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest. Series 24, which I'm correct. Yep, Series 24. The Series 24, Book 2, and that course being Flugger the Sightless Sliverer. But yeah, we're back with another book of Beast Quest as we continue on the series of Series 24, and now we've got the second book, Flugger, and I think, let's take a look. Will I say this is better than the first one? Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say it's better than the first one. It's got more action, it's got more development for the plot. We'll go with it. We'll say it's better than the first one. But yeah, like always guys, in-depth story analysis, the moral thoughts on this epic adventure. So let's get to it. But yeah, this is a continuation of the first book. So if you haven't read the first book, make sure that you have and, get back. But yeah, let's go. Alright then. Let's see. Eleanor woke up. Eleanor woke up. And Daltic informed her. No, yeah. Eleanor woke up Daltic and informed him that Tom and Rhea had escaped with Electro's token. We got to recap how Tom was turned evil by Rhea's spell, and she was using Crocol's blood to do it. Which makes me wonder if Tom will become the beast after the three beasts are destroyed. Anyway, our heroes used the magic compass that would help them find Tom. It pointed to his place. And, they had a magic compass that helps find Tom, which I mentioned prior in the last book. Which is Tom's compass, by the way. It pointed to the place called the Bone Sands. The desert people mentioned all who enter there never return, but regardless, Eleanor had to go to save her friend. Tom and Rhea were riding through the Bone Sands on their flying horse. Tom wondered if Rhea stole this horse from Henkral, the place where majority of creatures contain wings. Tom remembered Eleanor and Daltic, which started to weaken the spell and begin his rebellion over Rhea. However, Rhea had foreseen this and dared him to try. These words doubted Tom's actions, returning his status as Rhea's lackey. The villains arrived at a secret underground catacombs. Rhea instructed Tom to go first and explained about the next beast, Slugger. However, before anything else, giant scorpions showed up. Eleanor and Daltic were riding on Storm, which I didn't realize he was here until now. But they were doing well until a sandstorm tailed them, and sadly they got caught in it. Yeah, our heroes were fine, and they soon discovered they could be right on top of Tom. They found a well to go down. However, one wrong move and they could be dead. Tom fought off the giant scorpions, but during the fight he was poisoned by their tails and stuff, which caused his vision to be blurry. After some more walking, Tom led Rhea to where he believed Slugger was hiding. Okay. Tom attempted to heal himself with Epos's healing talent, but Slugger emerged, wrapping one of his tentacles around Tom before he could heal himself. Eleanor and Daltic made their way down the well and found a river. They had to find a way to cross it, so Daltic tried magicking an ice path. However, the giant scorpions were chasing after them, soon making the ice path destroyed, and our heroes fell into the black water. Eleanor saved themselves and dragged Daltic out. They continued on and saw Tom fighting the next beast, but with Tom against them now, how could our heroes fight both the beast and their friend? Eleanor then fought and looked at her arrows. Tom tried his best to fight Slugger, but the slightest sliverer wouldn't give him a break, as every time he tried to recover, Slugger would keep dragging him back under the water. Eleanor couldn't bear any more, and attempted a rescue, successfully stabbing Slugger's eye, and giving her time to drag Tom to safety. But despite his shock of her saving him, he still saw her as an enemy. Daltic tried to apply the antidote to Tom to cure Tom, only to have Tom shatter it. Rhea showed up, and it helped Tom by making a hole to pour sunlight on Slugger, which was the beast's weakness. But before Tom could re-enter the waters, Eleanor stopped him at arrow point. Tom laughed, saying she doesn't have the courage to finish him off. Eleanor lowered her weapon and tried to convince Tom that Rhea was the true enemy, but despite it seeming to work, Tom goes right back to evil mode, which gave Eleanor no choice but to knock him out. Now Eleanor tried to face Slugger in the water, only for her to get beaten up pretty well. As Eleanor tried to recover, she saw Tom had also recovered and was planning to face Slugger once again. Eleanor began to resink as Tom kept fighting Slugger Eleanor began to resink. Okay, there we go. As Tom kept fighting Slugger in brutal rage, but his rage clouded his mind, making him reckless and lose the battle. Eleanor had now gotten back to the shore and tried to get Tom's attention. She begged him to let them help him, but his stubborn pride refused. Slugger chased Tom and was about to kill him when Daltic, of all people, was the one to finish off Slugger by sending a large, pointed boulder, impaling the slightest sliverer. Rhea ordered her henchmen to pick up the next token and hand it to her, which he did, of course. In exchange, she recovered his eyesight with Tom's shield, And as for our heroes, Rhea blasted the roof that was beneath them, hoping that would put an end to Daltek and Eleanor, as our villains got away on horseback. But Tom did have a second look back of concern, ending our story. I should also mention, last book, Tom lost his jeweled belt, but it appears he's gotten it back, obviously, because he used it in this book. But yeah, there's my little read-through of Slugger, the Sightless Sliverer. A few scuffles here and there with my exposition on the analysis, but nothing too major. Overall, I think this is a pretty good book. It's still going the way I want the series to go. But like always, we're going to go over the characters and then my overall thoughts on this one. But yeah, starting off with the main character, and obviously the main character in this series is Eleanor, because, well, Tom's a villain now. But yeah, so Eleanor, she gets more development this round. She doesn't get too much development from the first one. She's still going on that path. I feel like she's gotten a bit more development from the previous book, which kind of makes sense for the story anyway. So she seems to be more determined to talk to Tom and, like, hesitant to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I've mentioned this in my last book, right? It's like the Viper and Lynxie dynamic in other situations like that. Also like the Luke Skywalker and the Darth Vader thing. But yeah, basically her relation revolves on that. It's pretty awesome, and it's still going at a great pace, so claps for Eleanor there. Does she do anything good in this book? She fights... I do like that she fights the beasts on herself. It's like she knows she can't beat it on her own, she needs backup and stuff, but she's still willing to do it to protect Tom and all that stuff, so I do like her motivations and stuff in this book. Daltek gets something to do. Awesome. I would never imagine he was the one to finish off a beast, of all people. So, claps for Daltek, a minor character that I didn't really care for much at all. Actually proves useful. He kills the beast and tries to help by making Ice Path to continue on their quest. Awesome. I didn't know Storm was in this book either. That really caught me off guard. So, yeah. It's amazing to have Storm back, by the way. I think he might have been in the first book too, but I just realised it now. But it is nice to have Storm back. But to be fair, he's still given a minor role. He's basically just reverted to Stallion, not as in Stallion in Distress. The villains, Rhea, she's pretty much the same as she was. She's further developing her evil path, explaining about the beasts, what you gotta do next, do this for me, and she gets what she wants in the end. And Tom, of course, gets the most development in this book, which is surprising, because normally... Well, to be honest, he should do, because he's the one under mind control. But it's his inner struggle to fight Eleanor, fight what he thinks is right and wrong, and prove to himself and stuff. Overall, his mind's all over the place on what he's trying to do. But still, I do like the fact that he's willing to go, despite all this injury and pain. He still wants to prove that he's the greatest warrior. Basically, Evil Tom has fallen into the category that is, to most of you, a Vegeta stereotype. And if you don't know what a Vegeta stereotype is, basically, Vegeta is the character in Dragon Ball Z who has a lot of stubborn pride, and we all know someone like that, who refuses any help and wants to prove that they're awesome, basically, to put it bluntly. But yeah, that's where Tom falls now, and he's still got the motivation, which I've said in the past book, still wallowing on through his mind. But again, I still think this is a good book. As for the beast himself, Slugger, which is what I'm calling him, because I'm calling him Slugger, because otherwise I have to pronounce it as Flugger, and I don't want to pronounce it like that, because it just sounds like some sort of snot word. But yeah, so, Slugger, I'm curious, is he blind before Eleanor stabs him? Or is he blind because Eleanor stabs him? I think his title, The Sightless Sliverer, is mentioned before he gets stabbed in the eye, so he may be blind in general, but I don't know. But yeah, and as for himself, he's more of an effective beast than Electro was, because Electro was more in the distance and wasn't expecting most of the company coming her way, while Slugger, he kept going and going and going. Even when he was injured, he still took what he knew. He went back to the water, tried to regain his strength. Great beast, more effective than the past one. So I think Slugger is a step up on the beast level here. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Speaking of which, this has been my review on Book 2, Slugger, the Sightless Sliverer. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, that good stuff. Hit the notification bell right in the corner down below. So you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest related topics on my channel and various other content that rely there. Upcoming Q&A also on the way, so if you haven't already, make sure to put your questions in for the upcoming Q&A coming on the 1st of February, which you can find, go to videos page, upcoming Q&A number 11, and put your questions in that video. And of course, our next book, of course, continuing on the series that is Series 24, is Moreax, the Wrecking Menace. And I believe, when I get his beast, he looks like he's based off a creature called the Pangolin, and I'll explain that more in detail when I get to the next review. But that'll be all from me. Till next time, guys, like always, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 24, Book 3, Moreax the Wrecking Menace. Give me a second, I need to get Crocal's book for next time. But yeah, we are back with another book of Beast Quest, and it is number, I don't know what number it is, but I'm sure I'll remind myself later. But yeah, we're back with Beast Quest, and we're almost done with Series 24, as we're on Book 3 now, and this is Moreax the Wrecking Menace. And I'm actually happy we have a creature that is not most well known to the public, but you could be confused by it from others, and that is, Moreax is based on a creature, Moreax, I think, is based on a creature which I know as the Pangolin, which is a creature with armoured plating, similar to an armadillo, but the armadillo is like a shell-based creature and such. Then you've got, and you could also argue porcupine or hedgehog, but they're more of like little spiky quills. This is actually armoured plating, and the Pangolin has armoured plating very similar to this, more than an armadillo, because the armadillo is more like a armoured shell, if you would say. But that's just my thoughts on the subject of where the idea came from. Anyway, the other theory is dinosaur, but I'm not going with that route due to the horns on the side of the head. By the way, pangolins don't have horns on the side of the head, it's just a way to add some more beastage to it. Anyway, that being said though, let's begin the awesomeness that is Moreax, the Wrecking Menace. And as of right now, it's... I don't know what's better, Slugger or Moreax. And I'll get into that while at the end maybe, if I can remember it. But let's get through this. Eleanor and Daltek will luckily... Oh yeah, I should mention before I start. In-depth story analysis, if you haven't read this book already, go and do so, as we're on book 3 of this series. So yeah, keep that in mind. But let's get through this. Eleanor and Daltek were luckily to be alive as they emerged from the rubble. After Daltek used his magic to heal them, they quickly summoned Storm. Storm is a horse, by the way. They quickly summoned Storm the horse as they prepared to escape. We get a recap on Tom being turned evil by Rhea. Then Eleanor climbed out and lowered a rope down to Daltek. They then used Tom's compass to help locate where Tom is. Our heroes were off on their adventure. By the way, there's a jet going by, so you might hear some noise in the background. Tom and Rhea were continuing on their quest, while still curious what Rhea's plan was. But again, she reminded Tom it wasn't his business. The villains landed near an oasis with a lush jungle around it. After some pacing, Rhea and Tom were luckily jumped by a pack of monkeys. I should also mention that Rhea states that Moreax, the beast that Tom will face next, is the most deadliest of the 3 spawns of Crocol. Eleanor and Daltek were now in a forest. After some pacing, they discovered some trees had been strangely marked. They assumed it was a sign that there was a tribe nearby. Then later, Eleanor thought she heard Tom and planned to help him, only to have Storm in need of rescue. They then heard something coming. It was a large, smooth, round black boulder. It nearly ran over Storm until our heroes saved him, of course. But as the boulder rolled by, Eleanor believed she spotted armor plating and an eye inside the boulder, which Daltek explained that was no boulder, that could have been a beast. I see the series is reminding us Storm constantly needs rescuing, and that was the beast. That proves my point of this beast being based off an animal called a pangolin, which I've mentioned prior. Tom and Rhea were tossed around by the monkey tribe until eventually they were tied and taken to the elder Rani. She explained they weren't kidnapping them, just saving them from Moreax. Tom explained they were here to defeat Moreax, but the tribe had their doubts, so they made them stay for the night. While Rhea couldn't move, Tom could, and he decided to start a forest fire to lure Moreax to him, because obviously he doesn't want to wait any time. Eleanor and Daltek continued forward until they smelled the forest fire. Assuming Tom was in danger, they went to rescue him. So they went to the source of the fire, only to discover a destroyed fence made of some strong trees. They assumed it was to keep the beast out or something in. They then pressed on, and Eleanor rescued a baby monkey man. The mother was not so grateful, by the way, explaining of what Tom had done. And as for our heroes, they pressed on. They finally came face to face with Moreax. So we're making progress there. Tom and Rhea could do some. Where was it? Tom and Rhea could do so. Where was I at? Could do much. Tom and Rhea were doing so much destruction. They were now in a. Tom and Rhea had done so much destruction. There we go. They were now in a safe in the treetops, awaiting for Moreax. And soon he emerged. Tom gave his attention and tried to lure him in, away from Rhea. Now the beast was unrolled, which was perfect, as Eleanor managed to shoot an arrow as a sneak attack in Moreax's flesh. Tom yelled at her for trying to help him, and prepared to face Moreax once again. Only this time the baby monkey man came rushing in Moreax's path. Tom felt a sensation, an instinct feeling that he had to save the baby. He leaped in front of Moreax and took hold of the baby, but Moreax was coming in fast, and there was no time to run. First, this is great. This is Tom's first true step at taking back control of his life. Only problem is, last chapter it ended with Eleanor and Daltek facing Moreax. Now this chapter starts with Moreax leaving our heroes and going to face the villains. Weird. Also, it's revealed Moreax has a poisonous tongue, I should mention. Before they could be run over, Storm, of all characters, came to their rescue as he horse-kicked Moreax off course. Tom let the child go. He even thanked Tom, but still he was confused on what he'd done. Then Moreax came back, but so did Daltek with the monkey people. They finally started a rebellion over the bully beast. Eleanor spotted Moreax's weak spot, its underbelly, and tried to shoot it, but it was too late. Moreax got off rolling again. Only this time he was going so fast he didn't see where he was going. He crashed, and everyone hoped he was dead in the fiery blaze. Eleanor thought it was over, but Tom revealed it wasn't over, as he could sense the beast. Moreax was indeed alive, so fire had no effect on him, nor the weight of fallen trees. Tom was eager to prove himself, so he chucked his own mistress Rhea to distract the beast, as he wedged his shield into Moreax's plating. So he couldn't enter his ball formation. Rhea ran away, and now Moreax was furious with Tom. But before Tom was Moreax's chow, he was saved by Eleanor, who shot a critical hit in Moreax's underbelly, making him die and fade away, leaving nothing but his token and the token and Tom's shield. Both Eleanor and Tom grabbed the token, but Tom convinced Eleanor to let go of the token as Daltek needed help. So Eleanor reluctantly did so, allowing Tom and Rhea to escape. Tom felt like helping Eleanor as his goodness was starting to come back. But Rhea reminded him of the final beast, Crokle. The final beast, Crokle. He would now be Tom's next opponent, and that would be a worthy challenge for him, which transferred Tom back to evil mode as they flew away. But yeah, there's the analysis for Moreax the Wrecking Menaces. Hopefully it was good. A few scuffles here and there, nothing too major. But let's go over the characters now and then the beast. And my overall thoughts. Starting off with Eleanor, she's the main character of this series essentially. Again, she doesn't get much development. She's just the fill-in for Tom can't be the hero, so I've got to help him out. And it is nice to see her finally get her own adventure where she's in the main role. But I just think she works better as a side character, though. I do think so. I mean, I've been complaining about Eleanor not getting the spotlight, but maybe she's just better suited for a side character. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Still, she does a lot of good stuff in this book. She follows Tom's path, see where he's going, And she doesn't like the whole forest fire thing. She gets a moment of emotional turmoil when she sees a forest fire. She's like, oh no, I hope Tom's not in that fire because my parents died that way, and I don't want anything bad to him, especially the same fate. Um, but yeah, I feel like as they're progressing, Eleanor's getting more and more emotionally attached as a friend to Tom and hoping to get him back. So there is that there. As for Daltek, he doesn't get much to do in this book, but he gets much enough. Storm gets a bit to do in this book, and that's saying something, because normally, and I really didn't think Storm would like have such a role anymore after the original series and stuff, like after the 6th mark. But no, they brought him back and made him do something for once, which is awesome. They made him kick Moreax off course, which is awesome there. Then we've got the villains, starting off with Rhea. Again, she's not really much use at all. She just tells Tom what to do and gets ticked off at him. She's essentially just a one-note villain, just there to manipulate Tom and progress the story until we see what her true plan is in the final book, which I'm sure we'll get an explanation on. Tom, of course, gets the most development because this is still his arc of trying to retake control of his life, which he seems to be doing so now, as he's finally had that moment of the child. Okay, back to Eleanor. She does have a moment of saving a baby monkey, I should mention, before anyone complains about that. Yeah, she does have that moment. But other than that, Tom also has a moment with the baby chimp, as Monkey Man, he saves the child from Moreax, and is willing to sacrifice his life to save that kid. And that's when Storm gets his badass moment as well. And so you got that there. Tom is still struggling to decide what side to do, but it still shows. We also see that he's still a capable fighter. That you don't need to also just fight the beast in order to win it. You can use strategy, and he did so by plucking his shield in there to block the transformation, which is cool. Like, this beast was invulnerable. He couldn't be stopped. He was a rolling, battering tank, kind of like Blood Boar, but a better version of Blood Boar, basically, where he couldn't be stopped with his armored hide. And then Tom realized that if his armored hide is his greatest weapon, it's also his greatest weakness. So by plunging his shield in there, he prevented the transformation. So without it, he was nothing more than a walking tortoise, essentially. And his underbelly was exposed. Gadunk. But yeah, Eleanor... Oh yeah, I should also mention Eleanor took the winning shot on Moreax, which again is again a good point for Eleanor, which is like... Because one time we saw... Yeah, Slugger was killed by Daltek. Eleanor was killed this one. And I think Eleanor killed Electro, but I might be wrong on that. I don't know, it's been a while. I mean, a lot's passed, but obviously my old review will correct me, and you guys will say in the comments but I'm pretty sure it was Eleanor that got him. Yeah, I think Eleanor killed 2 and Slugger was Daltek. That's just my thoughts. But yeah, now on to the beast himself, Moreax, who is arguably, he's the most interesting of the 3 spawns. The way he's, like I said, highlight the whole losing an ancient animal called the pangolin, bring that back. He is not as grabby as Slugger, which is why it's hard to choose who's the better beast, Slugger or Moreax. Slugger doesn't give Tom a break. Slugger doesn't give Tom a break. Moreax gives Tom a challenge, so it's hard to choose. Do you like a beast that gives Tom a challenge, or do you like a beast that doesn't give Tom a break at all? So it's all on your pick your apples or oranges type of thing. I don't know. I mean, shrimps, when it comes to sea creatures, giant squid would terrify me because I just find tentacle-like sea creatures like that. Real slimy that. But I find creatures like the pangolin to be so interesting. It's really hard to choose. If I had to choose, I would maybe say Moreax because he looks more cooler, but I don't know, it's hard to say. Still, Moreax himself is a challenging opponent. You're rolling him to a ball, he's considered the deadliest of the 3 spawns, and I can easily see why. He gives Tom a challenge, more than Slugger or Electro did, which is kind of easy when you think about it. But nonetheless, I think Moreax is a great opponent for Tom. If you want to go with Pokemon standards, he would be the Don fan of Pokemon, or Beast Quest. The Don fan of Beast Quest or something like that, as my friend Adam Ferns would say. But yeah, there's my thoughts on Moreax the Wrecking Menace. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope when Adam Ferns does his review on this book, or when he does his review on this series, but he will say that this creature is a pangolin and not something else, because I don't want him getting... He'll probably get it wrong or something, I don't know. We'll say when his series review comes out for that book. When his series review comes out for this series 24. But yeah, there it is, guys. My attempt at doing book 3, Moreax the Wrecking Menace. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to that good stuff, hit the notification bell right in the corner down below so you can stay in tune with all Beast Quest related topics and other content on my channel. Join us next time as we continue on the series of Series 24. I should actually get the book. Do I have the book? I had it. Where did I put it? Where did I put Crow Call out? I had it just a second ago, guys. Oh boy. Did I just lose Crow Call? I bet I find it next time I see it. 1 second. Where is it at? If I get it up. I bet I had it around here somewhere. I can't find it. That's weird. Did I put him in the box? No, I didn't. I just had him like when I was getting up off my butt. And now he's disappeared from sight. Oh god. Whatever. Crowcall is next, guys. So, yeah, stay tuned for that one. Oh, I think I remember where I put him now. He's under my bookshelf. There he is. I put him in a safe spot so I didn't lose him, and it was so safe I forgot about it. But you guys have been in situations like that. Here he is. Yeah, next time is Crowcall, the Father of the Fear. Wait, Crowcall, the Father of Fear, which I'm assuming he gets that title because of his 3 spawn children, it's Moreax, Electro, and Slugger. But yeah, next time is Crowcall. Yeah, and I'm pronouncing it that way because it sounds basically right. But yeah, awesomeness there. And I think that's either Tom or Eleanor. I think it's Eleanor holding Tom's weapons in that shot. Because they're trying to, throughout the series, they're trying to twist us that that's not Tom. Like, Tom's still a good guy. And from this one, it looks like Moreax is facing Tom. And since it's in the shading, you could say, oh, it's Tom in his black armor. But you could also say, for those who, for first glance, you can make that as good Tom, and you can't really see much. But it is nice of them fooling us this way. So I'm curious to see, does Ellen get Tom's weapons, or are they trying to fool us and think that's Tom? I don't know. It's very clever what they're doing with these covers for this series. I like it. So I'm looking forward to Crowcall, the Father of Fear. Till next time, guys, like always, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest. Series 24, Book 4, Crowcall, the Father of Fear. And it's finally time to wrap up Series 24 of Beast Quest with, of course, Crowcall, the finale. So, like always, in-depth story analysis and my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. So make sure you've read Series 24 up to this point, otherwise why else would you be watching this video unless you don't really care. But nonetheless, like always, let's go through with this. Eleanor and Daltek had made it out of the forest where they had fought Moreax. Now it was them against Rhea and the former hero Tom, who had been turned evil by Rhea's magic. Rhea had a mysterious plan, so our heroes had to stop Rhea no matter what it was. They arrived at the palace of the former King Jorah, who used to control Pylorus before his greed got the better of him, and he sealed his fate as he summoned a beast that he couldn't control. It destroyed not just the king, but majority of Pylorus, until Tanner managed to stop him and turn him into 3 weaker beasts. However, our heroes discovered a magical parchment that Rhea had recently touched. It showed a vision of King Jorah, not summoning Crowcall, but becoming him. Now our heroes were really fearing the worst. Tom and Rhea were putting the tokens in a cauldron to create Crowcall. Tom wondered if Rhea could really control Crowcall. Rhea informed him she could. Then she asked for Tom's red ruby, which allowed him to communicate with beasts, so she could properly control Crowcall. He reluctantly did so, only to have her cut his hand with a slash, and have him swipe the jewel from Tom's hand. Plus, Tom's blood was now black. She locked Tom in a cell room and ran out. We also learn that Rhea's plan is to get revenge on Avantia. Still, I'm assuming for the trouble it's done for her mother and herself, probably. Anyway, Tom felt some terrible feeling deep within him. I wonder if I was right. I wondered previously before this, I wondered that Tom would turn into the final beast, and it seems it might be the case. So, looks like my theory was right. Now it's just a rough theory. Wasn't really sure about that. Eleanor and Daltic ventured forth and further went through the castle. They found a secret switch in the throne room and that led them down to some dungeons. Soon they encountered Rhea, and before Eleanor could shoot her, Rhea informed if she did, she would never see Tom again. When Eleanor asked what she had done to Tom, a beast roared. A beast could be heard with a roar. Eleanor rushed past Rhea to a cell along with Daltic to find Tom transforming into a beast. Great plan by Rhea. What better way to make Avantia suffer than take the hero that ruined not just you but your parents' plans and turn him into the beast, the very creatures he fights every day. Turn him into a beast, and him having destroy Avantia, the kingdom he's supposed to protect. Very twisted, very cool. The transformation was complete. He was Crocol now, and he easily broke free from the cell, passing Eleanor and Daltic like they were nothing. We just got some decent personality from Crocol, that he was a powerful kingdom-conquering beast. He found his way to the throne room, where he fought Tanner. There he encountered Rhea, who tried to control Crocol with Tom's red ruby. However, Crocol was more powerful than she imagined, which forced her to make up a lifeline. She explained that she could take Crocol to Avantia, the kingdom of Tanner, so he could get revenge. Because Tanner beat him before, so by conquering Tanner's kingdom of Avantia, he could get his revenge by destroying that kingdom. Which fits in Rhea's plan, as she wants to get payback on Avantia anyway. Crocol let her go and smiled for his upcoming revenge. Eleanor and Daltic picked up Tom's weapons and went after the villains. They spotted Crocol and got into a fight with the beast. Daltic had more enchanted arrows ready, but only 2 shots for Eleanor. Her first missed, just 1 arrow to go. Then Rhea showed up. She headed to the highest tower with her lightning staff, and our heroes figured out Rhea's plan. Just like Series 11, Rhea intended to summon the beasts from one kingdom and so they could attack Avantia for revenge. Eleanor and Daltic tried to race after Rhea, only to have Eleanor caught by Crocol. Now Eleanor was caught by Crocol and within his grasp. Eleanor managed to break free by jabbing Tom's sword into Crocol's hand. She made a run for it as Daltic wrestled Rhea for the lightning staff. Also, Eleanor spotted Rhea drop the red jewel, which she assumed she took from Tom. Anyway, during the battle, Eleanor's bow was destroyed. She had no way of firing her last arrow, and after revealing Crocol could shoot black slime from his hands, she took the fight into another chamber. With nowhere else to run, it was now or never. Eleanor lunged with all her might and successfully plunged the enchanted arrow into the flesh. The transformation was reversing, and Tom was back. However, he didn't appear to be moving. Tom awoke, only to discover the battle was not over yet. He was a ghostly presence, unable to do any form of communication with the living. Crocol appeared and explained it was a mental battle for control of Tom's body. As the fight clashed, Tanner's spirit appeared and he reforged Tanner's old sword for Tom, which enraged Crocol, who blasted Tom with a mass amount of slime. Then Crocol claimed he would retake control of Tom's body and kill Eleanor. Tom didn't know what to do until Tanner came back and explained to him why he was worthy of Master of the Beasts. So, finally time to know that. Not because of might or magic, but due to his pure heart. He also explained there's always a way to get out of any situation before fading again. This gave Tom the inner strength to use Crocol's slime against himself, using it as a slingshot to lure him close enough to slash Crocol, then impaling and finally decapitating the beast. Before Tom returned to his body, Tanner explained he got a new power due to defeating Crocol. He could now contact the previous masters and mistresses of the beasts for their wisdom and guidance, including his father. Tom awoke in his armor, golden restored, but the fight wasn't over yet. Rhea still remained. However, she had teleported out of there before our heroes had the chance. Tom explained Rhea wouldn't fight Avantia until she had a new plan, and of course they'd be ready for her when she strikes again. Downtick explained a feast would be awaiting them when they returned home. And that is the end of Series 24. Overall, it's a great series. Finally, we get the story I've been wanting. Tom turned into a beast. I mean, because we had, like, Silver as a beast. It'd be nice to have... So if that makes... This is the second of the original four companions, which are Eleanor, Tom, and Silver and Storm, turned to an evil version of themselves. Is it better than Silver? It probably... Ooh. Thing is, wolves are more... I don't know. Crocol... I guess I probably should say it's better, because it's the final book, and Crocol is probably more powerful than Silver, so... Yeah, we'll say it's better than Silver. But I don't like saying that, because I just have I'll tie him for my first spot. Will I? Oh, I don't know. Crocol and between Silver, flip it heck. I'm still saying Silver's my favorite. Just, I don't know. It might be my partialness due to the wolf thing. I think I prefer more animal-like beasts than monstrous-like beasts that are humanoidish. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. Those are my thoughts on what I prefer. I think Silver is a better book, but Crocol is easily second place. You know what question? Crocol will be second place for me, because it's finally what I wanted for a long time. Tom turns into an evil beast. Great stuff. Sure, that beast is really another presence taking control, while as Silver was him becoming more aggressive and more beastie-like. I guess that's why I prefer Silver, it's because when Silver transformed, he became a more beastie-like version of himself. When Tom transforms, he becomes another presence entirely. I guess that's why I prefer Silver. But still, the fact Tom finally becomes an evil beast, and he was actually a evil henchman throughout the series, is kind of awesome. But yeah. This book in its own, the story of I had a little few scuffles here and there with the analysis, but I think I did pretty well. I really enjoyed the conclusion. Obviously, this book is probably the best of Series 24, which is not really a surprise, as Series 24 normally gets best at the end, where Tom finally confronts his dark side and all that stuff. And I kind of predicted this, and that was just a rough guess. Rhea's plan is just another revenge ploy, which is kind of established for her background of her parents and stuff. Pretty generic. Daltic and Eleanor, they get the typical stuff to do. Daltic gets a badass moment tackling Rhea the Lightning Staff. Eleanor gets a lot of badassery, stabbing Crocol with Tom's sword, wielding Tom's weapons for a period of time, using her enchanted arrows to restore Tom to his goodness. And as for the Rhea herself, like I said, I've already gone over her. Her plan is just typical revenge ploy. She gets shafted, and the fact that she believes she could control Crocol, she underestimated her opponent, where it seemed that Crocol would have taken over the driver's seat if that had gone that way. And as for Tom himself, Tom/Crocol, Tom wasn't really, the Tom we got, Tom himself, he didn't have much villainy to do in this book, because all his villainy was done in the past 3 books. It's like, we got more good Tom at the end, and him fighting control for his body back. And so that's essentially what... He does gain more power from that, which is awesome. And Crocol himself, being this tyrant beast, like a kingdom conqueror, makes him more powerful than other beasts. So that's awesome there. I don't think... there might be a few, but I don't remember many beasts up to the levels that have enough power to destroy whole kingdoms in a simple boom. But yeah, Crocol is impressive. And I think like I said, I will put it as the second best book, and I've already explained why I think Silver is better. I think it's because I prefer when a character turns evil, that they become still themselves, but just a more aggressive version of themselves, like Silver was. While Crocol was another presence taking over, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing. So, yeah. But I think I preferred Tom Evil than Crocal himself, to be honest. But I still think Crocal was awesome, nonetheless. Yeah, so either way you like it, we still got Crocal, we still got an evil version of Tom, both as a henchman and as a beast, so I'm happy all the way around. This is why I love this series. It gave me what I wanted to see, all for a series that could have been done easy peasy, and either Beast Quest was pulling it off because they tried to find a way to do it right, or they just didn't have that idea in mind. And if they did pull it off because they wanted to do it right, you guys did a great job. Anyway, that's it for me for Series 24. I can't say the name of the next book. One, because I don't have the next books for obvious reasons. And two, because I haven't got the knowledge of what the next book is. So, Series 25, nonetheless, is next. And I'll be looking forward to getting those books when it comes out. I'm going to try and start gathering some specials now before other books come out. Because I think the next books come out in June. So that's the plan. I'll upload this video. I'll see you guys next time. And after this video, of course, when it's uploaded, it will be Ryu. Actually, it'll be Ken, then Ryu from Street Fighter from LEGO DC Superman's Custom Builds. That being said, I'll see you next time. Until next time, guys, like always, like, subscribe, like good stuff. Till next time, peace.